Moments English, Class 9, Chapter 6, Weathering the Storm in Ersama by Mander. Think about it. Number 1. What havoc has the super cyclone wreaked in the life of the people of Orissa? Answer. The cyclone brought heavy rains and strong winds. As a result, majority of the houses had blown away and only the strong cement houses were spared. Dirty water covered the land as far as the eye could see. Many people lost their lives. There were floating human bodies and blotted animal carcasses all around. Even the strongest of the trees had been uprooted. The scene was gruesome, and many people lost their relatives and many children had become orphans. There was shortage of food. People were sad and helpless, and had a pall of gloom had descended on the peoples all around. Number 2. How has Prashant, a teenager, been able to help the people of his village? Answer. Prashant helped the people of his village by first getting a grip over himself because he was initially shocked on witnessing the after effect of the cyclone. He decided to step in as the leader of his village. He organized a group of youths and elders to jointly pressurize the merchant to give rice for the people living in the shelter. He was successful in this task. His next task was to organize a team of youth volunteers to clean the shelter and to tend to the wound of the people who had been injured because of the cyclone. Prashant also brought a number of orphan children together and constructed the polythene shelter for them. While women were mobilized to look after them, the men secured food and other essentials for the shelter. When he realized that the women were becoming too grief-stricken, he persuaded them to start working in the Food for Work program, which was initiated by the NGO. He also organized sports events for children. Number 3. How have the people of the community helped one another? What role do the women of Kalikuda play during these days? Answer. The people of the community got together and began to help one another under the leadership of young Prashant. Together they pressurized the merchant to part with his rice for the people in the shelter. They gathered branches from fallen trees and lit a fire on which they cooked rice for all to eat. When the military helicopters dropped some food parcels but did not return, the youth task force gathered empty utensils from the shelter and made the children lie in the sand with the utensils on their stomach to communicate to the passing helicopters that they were hungry. The message went through and the helicopters made regular rounds of the shelter, air dropping food and other basic needs. Women were mobilized to look after the orphans, while the men secured food and materials for the shelter. In spite of being grief-stricken, the women started working in the Food for Work program started by an NGO. Number 4. What do Prashant and other volunteers resist the plan to set up institutions for orphans and widows? Why alternatives do they consider? Answer. The plan to set up institutions for orphans and widows was resisted because it was believed that in such institutions children will grow up without love and affection, and widows will suffer from stigma and loneliness. Instead, Prashant and his group suggested that the children and widows should be resettled in their own community, where they can get a homely environment. They suggested setting up of foster families made up of childless widows and children without adult care. Number 5. Do you think Prashant is a good leader? Do you think young people can get together to help people during natural calamities? Answer. Yes, Prashant is a very good leader. Though he himself was too grief-stricken, he got a hold of himself and decided to step in as the leader of the village. He carried out his role effectively and helped the people of his village in every possible manner. Yes, young people can definitely get together to help people during natural calamities and otherwise. They can use their strength and vigor to help people.